is Richard Steele.
Let's go, Tony. Okay, you guys, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. I'll caution you again. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Well, this, as predicted by Ray Mancini and Harold Letterman, expected to be a war. Tony Lopez said he did not watch any tapes of Greg Haugen. He feels that there's nothing that he can do to change what he has already become.
You know, James, the officiating in Nevada has been criticized recently. Nevada did something about it by bringing back Dwayne Ford as a judge. He's the judge in this fight. It's his first major fight back. The guy was in 49 World Championship fights, was a commissioner for 7 years, including being the chairman of the commission. A great judge.
Both guys have set an early, fast pace out there. Haugen just hit him with a good right hand that shook Tony up and got himself back together now. If they keep it at this, it won't be long before we get into the war in the trenches, because they're really going at each other.
Haugen comes in very confident, Ray and Harold. He says that Lopez has not been hit as hard as he will hit him, thinking that because Lopez is moving up in weight, Haugen very comfortable. He had to come down from 160 pounds to the 142-pound limit.
Haugen believes that Tony Lopez can't take a junior welterweight punch, but I see no signs of that. But Greg's looking good so far, moving forward, taking it right to Tony the Tiger.
Two very confident-looking fighters in the early going and the feeling-out process here in round one.
Nice left jab so far by Greg Haugen. Good left hook underneath to the body.
Again, this is what I was talking about, James, earlier when I said Greg Haugen is probably a little physically stronger, and he has to try to apply that pressure and use his strength. Come forward a little bit, push Tony back.
Two nice connections with the left jabs, and an answer provided by Lopez.
As you can see, Tony probably has a little quicker hands. He's using the hand, you know, he's underneath. I like what I see by both guys so far. I don't think anybody is dictating the pace so far.
And over the course of their respective histories, both guys known to be susceptible to the cuts.
And Ray, it's all double jabs by Greg Haugen. He's doubling it up all the time. Always big. Lopez letting go of one shot at a time. Haugen doubling up on everything.
Nice right counter by Lopez. Ray, I found it quite interesting that Lopez indicated he did not have a fight plan. I guess I was applying some understanding from other sports, but he says, no, I'll develop that plan in the ring.
Yeah, most fighters will tell you, it's not a football game. You know, you don't go in with a game plan. You have certain ideas you want to do. You have to see what happens, what your opponent does before you can dictate what you're going to do.
Good counter by Lopez again, and a solid right by Haugen as he moves in here in the closing seconds. And that's the end of round one. Lopez acknowledging with the nod. Good punch thrown by Haugen.
Listen, move the head just a little more. Yeah, not quite so much stationary, you know. Move it side to side. He's not going to touch it. You're doing what you want to with him, you know? And you're doing it because you're keeping your eye on the ball and you're thinking. Okay, but I just want to get him moving. I'll get you there, son. Don't worry. I want you to move that upper body just a little more, though, you know? Don't make such a stationary target for him, okay?
JB, right here you're going to see Greg Haugen throw. Good right hand that shook Tony Lopez. Bing, right there. You know, he did a stutter step for a moment, but he regrouped. Boom, again. Again, because Tony has a habit of throwing punches wide. Greg is shorter, you know, more precise up the middle. That could be a deciding factor later on.
Round two.
Jim, the punches in round one, Greg Haugen threw 79 punches, landed 30 for 38%. Tony Lopez only threw 44, landed 16 for 36%.
Scheduled for 10, non-title bout. Haugen in the black trunks.
No, I don't want to. Greg Haugen has a mean gash on his. I don't know if it's a gash or a scratch on his back. I mean, when he had that on when he came into the ring. I don't know if that'll affect anything later on, but keep an eye on that.
Ray, does it bother you at all to hear that Lopez bothered not to look at tapes of Haugen at all?
No, because again, Tony has seen Greg fight enough times through the years to know basically what he can do. And as Tony said, you don't teach an old dog new tricks. Basically, they both know what each other can do. Tony hasn't changed through the years either. So I mean, you see one fight. Okay, I don't need to fill my head with too many thoughts. I can go in there knowing what I have to do.
And as you suspected, Haugen delivering the harder punches, but Lopez a very effective tactician.
Yes.
And technician. Haugen pushing Lopez back with the punch.
And Tony just caught Greg with a good right hand that shook up Greg.
Good counter.
Hurt him with a good right hand on top of the head.
Hurt him enough that Haugen held on to him to collect himself.
I like what Tony's doing underneath with that left hook to the body. He keeps killing the right side of Haugen's body with the left hook.
Well, even though that scratch is on the backside, the right backside of Haugen, Lopez still working that.
Tony reminds me of a throwback of the old fighters where they didn't keep their hands up, catch punches on their hands so much as move their head. Move their head, they counter.
Lopez connected with a right to the chin of Haugen in that last exchange.
See, Tony's great to watch. Good technician in there. Moves the head, moves the feet. If you watch, he gets out of the range of punches with his feet as well as his head.
Punch your way out. Punch your way out.
Lopez missing with the overhand right. Haugen connecting with the jab. Light. Good left by Lopez. Under 30 in round 2, scheduled for 10.
Tony Lopez has got a bad bruise underneath the left eye.
But again, James, this is what I'm talking about. What a good fighter should watch. Tony Lopez. He gives shoulder jukes, head feints, feet feints. This is what young fighters should watch when you want to know how to fight. Watch Tony Lopez.
And working the body of Haugen in the last sequence. And a good punch by Lopez closes round number 2.
You gotta take your shots, man. Okay? Take your shot.
Brad, let it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, championship boxing,
Take your time. Deep breath.
returns
Deep breath.
to the MGM Grand Garden
Deep breath.
Friday night, July 29th.
Now, deep breath.
Olympic gold medalist and undefeated world champion
going back
Oscar De La
and start
Hoya
drilling
takes on
him, okay?
Jorge Paez for the
got a shot out
WBO
there.
lightweight
When he
title.
comes in, Tony,
Also on the card in
straight.
exchange
Don't follow his head.
lineout,
Straight
Tony
up. Come back
defending
with
his
the hook, okay?
IBF
Jab
Super
right hand,
Featherweight
hook.
title
Bring him
against
back and bring him back up to
Charles
the head.
Williams.
2-3 punch
Pick your
combinations,
plans to be
okay?
here now for tickets.
Right there, just look, a good right hand, Tony. Boom. Shakes up Greg. This is the end of the round. Again, good uppercut, shook Greg. Right now, Tony's obviously landing the harder punches, and he's hurt Greg twice so far, and that's a heck of a mental thing to know that you can hurt the other fighter.
Both fighter having a round where they ended it with a signature punch. And they go right at it here in round 3.
Tony, if you look at Tony's trunks, Tony's got the American flag on one side and the Mexican flag on the other. Yeah, that's great.
Very savvy.
Yes, of course. Getting both. Not only do you get you get both sides rooting for you, of course, but both countries adopted him as a favorite son.
Lopez very active here in the early going of round 3. Haugen loves to fight in Las Vegas and enjoys a 14-0 mark here in Las Vegas, so obviously quite comfortable. Lopez, as we've talked before, while principally fighting in the state of California, will fight wherever the best fight is arranged.
It seems at this point, Tony is dictating the pace of the fight. He's holding center ring. He's moving underneath Haugen's punches and countering very strong.
To the body with the left, followed with the right. Nice 1-2 combination by Lopez.
Don't hold him. Punch your way out.
Tony Lopez, though, is throwing a lot of counter punches. He's waiting for Greg Haugen to get off first, and he's coming back with that hard right hand. It's almost as if he's setting up Greg Haugen.
Haugen with a strong right, but Lopez did catch part of it on the glove. Nice right delivered by Lopez. Body shot by Lopez, followed with the right to the chin. And a right by Haugen. And Lopez shaking his head saying that didn't hurt, but that one did.
But as Harold stated earlier, he's got a heck of a mouse underneath his eye.
A wicked welt indeed.
Yes.
That being Lopez. Under the left eye. A right connects. Thrown by Lopez. Boy, these are two very well-conditioned athletes. Technically strong.
Well, I said earlier, this could be the fight of the night. This could steal the thunder from the main event.
Haugen believes that a strong showing here will put him right back into the thick of things, so he is certainly desirous of an excellent performance tonight. Final 10 seconds of round 3. And that's the end of round 3. Lopez and Haugen.
Look, only fools rush in.
That's
like
right,
that
baby.
there. You know, only fools rush in. I know it. That's okay. I know you're trying to do that. I know you're trying to do that.
How you feel?
What you're doing, you know, don't rush right now. So you went over the step, you know, you got off balance the whole damn thing. Let's not do that. You know? Yeah.
Get a rinse.
Uh-huh. As far as I'm concerned, you got all 3 rounds. You know? Yeah. And you got it just because of the fact that you're smarter than him. You got the jab going. You got you're working it.
Okay, punches in round 3. Tony Lopez landed only 23 punches. Greg Haugen 28. Greg Haugen threw 77. Much more busy, even though Lopez has got a higher percentage.
Scheduled for 10. Lopez and Haugen, bring him out at the bell.
Round 4, scheduled for 10. Along with Harold Letterman, Ray Mancini, I'm James Brown, coming to you from the MGM Grand Garden. Triple header here on TVKO. Lopez, strong right to the jaw of Haugen, and another right.
I'm surprised he's landed 3 straight right hands on Greg Haugen's chin without throwing a jab. He's just leading with the right hands, which is a dangerous move, but he's getting away with it.
Obviously, very effective adjustments by Lopez in the ring. As he said, his game plan would be on the fly. Low blow that time thrown by Lopez. Not called by Richard Steele.
Keep him in front.
I keep saying it, James. Tony's a throwback of the old days where they kept their hand, just moved their head and countered. You know, you'll see a lot of fighters catch punches on the arms without throwing punches back. Tony doesn't keep his arms up. He moves his head and his body and counters, makes you miss and counters right back. While you're putting your punches back, he's hitting you already.
Obviously a very effective fundamental.
The great Jimmy McLaren told me once, I had the pleasure of meeting him, he said you don't have to catch punches with your arm. Just move that head and move that body and make the guy, and when you make him miss, you make him pay for it.
Certainly cumulative punches on the arms can take effect later. Ali found that out against Foreman. Greg Haugen sticking with his game plan. He said he would just come right at Lopez, but Lopez very much up to the challenge.
Punching it out, punching it out.
Right now, James, you're seeing some tremendous boxing skill. Both guys are just throwing feints at each other, drawing the other guy in, countering, making the other guy miss, making him pay for his misses. I mean, this is a great fight to watch.
And conditioning, obviously, is something both enjoy. Haugen said 6 weeks and 2 days of two-a-days, and he feels in superb shape. And it's clear he'll need it because Lopez very much up to the challenge. Harold, thus far, a pretty clean fight in terms of no cuts, no headbutts, and these are two very active fighters in tight.
Exactly. I'll tell you, it's been very, very clean. Richard Steele has very, very little to do so far. Both guys fighting a very clean fight.
And Lopez showing his defensive skills at the close of that round as we get set to move to round 5.
Okay, give him too much play. Come on.
The welt we talked about under the left eye. Harold?
Okay, James, so far I got it 3 rounds to 1. Favorite Greg Haugen, 39-37 in points. I thought Tony Lopez did enough to win the second round when he staggered Greg Haugen twice. But boy, I tell you, Greg Haugen's backing him up, taking a fight to Tony Lopez, doing a real good job. Tony's trying to counter, but so far I think it's Haugen on his aggressiveness and his, more punches winning the fight.
Coming up, the main event, as we take a look at Vinny Pazienza. He'll be taking on the legend, Roberto Duran. There's Bill Caton, his manager, talking with him, and Vinny Pazienza throughout the promotional tour of these two, convincingly stating how he can't stand Duran, and I got the impression he really meant it.
There definitely is no love lost, and it's all true.
Now, I know prior to working with Harold, you said there have been many occasions you disagreed with him. What about the scoring?
Yes, I gotta go public with this, Harold. Right now I have a 2-2 in rounds. I think Tony Lopez not only won that second round, I also thought he dictated the third round, but Greg Haugen came back.
And dictating here with wicked rights as Lopez connects solidly with 2 of them on Greg Haugen.
There's blood on the shoulder of Greg Haugen. I don't know if it's coming from him, his own blood, or is it from Tony Lopez's nose.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Tony Lopez was quite aware that Greg Haugen had been sparring with a full face shield to protect the broken nose, and again, Lopez quite cognizant of that coming into the bout.
But this is where the jab comes into effect. This is a fight, obviously, that the jab is dictating the pace so far by both guys. Both guys are using the jab very effectively. But again, this might be a fight that's won by the jab, because if Tony keep peppering Greg on the nose with that jab, it'll obviously irritate it and make it bleed and cause excruciating pain.
Lopez finding the range consistently with that right. Nice 1-2 combinations by Lopez. Good uppercut. Not a lot of power behind it, but it did connect.
Don't spin him, don't spin him. Work it, get out. Let him go, let him go.
And again, Ray, so much is made about maybe the strength that one fighter possesses as an advantage over the other, but tactically and technically, when you get a good fighter like Lopez in there, the cumulative effect will certainly do some damage.
Absolutely. When you got a guy like Tony, as I said earlier, Greg may have the physical advantage, physical strength advantage, but it doesn't mean anything right now. Tony's using his skills. He's moving Greg around the ring. He's making a miss, making him pay for his misses. I mean, right now, as you said, it's a non-issue.
Anything discernible to you at this point as to one fighter weakening versus the other?
At this point, I really think that Tony Lopez is just starting to dictate the fight a little bit. He likes these type of fights. He likes to have a guy keep following him around the ring and countering him, and he's hitting him with some clean shots on the counterattack.
Well, let me tell you, you talk about a fight that could be fought in the phone booth. These guys are both in the ring, in the middle of that ring, swinging at each other. I mean, it's a tremendous fight, toe-to-toe. Good shots, good left hook by
Greg Haugen was shook up by that left hook. He did a little stutter step, and I watched his feet. He did a little stutter step. He got shook up by that.
Final seconds of round number 5. Haugen trying to answer back. And Lopez saying, no way. Good action through 5 rounds here at the MGM Grand Garden. 10-round bout between Tony the Tiger Lopez and Greg Haugen.
That punch all day now. He's tired, baby. He's hurting. You got the hurt on him right now. I'm gonna tell you. You know, I want you to keep your head up there. Don't put it down so much. Stay in your crouch. Stay in your crouch all right. But you keep your eyes up. You know, don't be taking your eyes off him now. You know, you go in sometimes. You got your head down there. I want to see your head down there. You watch more. That's the only time you're gonna get hit.
All right, through round 5, Greg Haugen, 31% connect percentage. Tony Lopez, 51%. Tony Lopez had a much better round 5 than Greg Haugen did. A good round 5 for Tony Lopez.
And Harold, I can't help but have a little fun here. Mancini said he was looking forward to the opportunity to go toe-to-toe with you, and he did it that time.
Let me tell you, I'll whack him out in 6.
Round 6, scheduled for 10. Lopez, the Mexican flag and the American flag on his shorts. Greg Haugen in the black, and Lopez connecting early.
Oh man, he's getting some straight right hands all night long. Of course, Greg's catching Tony with his own counter punches, but I've never seen Greg get hit with so many clean right hands as he is in this fight.
Greg.
You heard Jimmy Montgomery tell Greg Haugen in his corner to stay in the crouch. Obviously exposing a little too much of himself, and Lopez finding the range. Good body shot by Haugen. Lopez connecting on the break.
Oh, good left hook to the body. Good left hook.
By Lopez.
Yes, sir. That will cut you right in half, that type of punches. Those punches will cut a fighter in half faster than anything he gets hit on the chin.
And Harold, as a judge, you talk so much about aggressiveness being displayed. That certainly seems to be decidedly in the favor of Lopez.
I'll tell you, Tony Lopez seems to have turned this fight around. I mean, he's really landing the power shots. Look at that right hand.
Yet another one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the 5th round and in the 6th round so far, it's all Tony Lopez. I mean, it almost appears as Greg Haugen is running out of gas.
Well, to make comment on that, Harold, I was watching the fighters when they went back to the corner. Tony went back, kind of bouncing, sat down on the stool, boom, very attentive. Greg was very slow back to his corner, very slow sitting down.
Tony Lopez not only very popular in the state of California and certainly in Sacramento where he's from, but also in South Africa. He's fought Brian Mitchell twice and Dingen Tobella. Very great fights.
James, he's starting to drop that right hand on Greg Haugen. In other words, he's coming over the top with it. He's bringing it down, and Greg Haugen's head just don't get out of the way. Look at that. He drops it on him, drops 2 on him, drops 3 on him, 4 on him.
Lopez pressing Haugen. Haugen loses his mouthpiece. He's hurt. And he's gone. He's down.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Unbelievable, James. Unbelievable.
Time.
Richard Steele calls time.
Oh, Richard.
And again, the mouthpiece was knocked out.
The rule is you put the mouthpiece in during the lull in the action. He was counting. As soon as he got through counting, he saw if the guy was okay to fight, and then he put the mouthpiece back in. So Greg Haugen got a break. He got an extra 2 seconds rest.
Final 10 seconds of round 6. And Lopez closes out an outstanding round 6.
See, James, Greg walks back. Haugen's gone back very slow. He's hurt. He's still hurt.
How you feel?
A solid shot. Accomplished the knockdown.
Yes, sir. Them right hands over the top. So many consecutively. Boom. Look at that right hand. Almost knocked the mouthpiece out. He was out on his feet right there. I mean, not out, but he was hurt. A couple more shots later, he was down.
It's amazing, Ray, how focused Lopez stays as we take a look, keeping the target in mind and not flailing, but being accurate with it.
Well, Tony known for his effective punching. I mean, he doesn't miss too many. And when he saw Greg hurt, man, he just went on the attack and landed 3 or 4 straight right hands. Oh, clean shots.
And again, embellishing on the point we made earlier, the cumulative effects. Haugen came in very confident. He was much stronger and was going to deliver harder punches, but the cumulative effect of the accurate shots by Lopez. And Lopez opens up round 7 with a shot to the face.
James, Richard Steele's got to wait for a lull of the action. There, well, a little bit.
The mouthpiece again knocked out.
I'll tell you right, it don't matter. Greg Haugen is hurt this round. He's... Come on. He's very hurt at this time.
Okay, Steele calls time in.
Punching it out.
I don't know if Greg will be able to last the round. He's getting with too many clean shots.
Too many right hands.
Greg, step back.
Haugen was hoping for an impressive performance to get back in the thick of things. This is not it, as Tony Lopez has taken the starch out of Greg Haugen.
He's going. Greg's on his way out in this round.
And one may ask what this would do to his career as well, Ray Mancini.
Well, he's had so many great fights. Who knows? He's at a crossroads, but he has his kids to worry about, so who knows, James?
Lopez, the headhunter. Not getting overconfident, a sign of experience again.
Exactly. So many fights, and he knows he has them hurt, and he knows he has a lot of time. You got to admire Greg Haugen. He's shown a lot of tenacity, but he's hurt. Tony's kind of got his own way with him right now.
You know, James, he punches with a right hand, Tony Lopez, as hard as any 140-pounder in a game. He's got a good, solid right hand, and it's accurate, too. He's just dropping it on Haugen's head.
Admirable will and determination being displayed by Haugen, but clearly it appears to be a matter of time as Lopez showing no signs of weakness at all.
Now, Tony's confidence level is way up there. I mean, he's hitting with everything and anything he wants. And maybe, as I said, 6 weeks, 2 days of double sessions might have overtrained him. He looks a little stale at this point. Plus all the years of cumulative fights, you know, your body can only take so much, you know. Your body wears out at a certain point.
And certainly with less than a minute to go in a round, Greg Haugen has shown us tremendous heart and a great ability to take a shot, because he's taken a lot of them.
And as you can see, Tony's trying to draw Greg in so he can drop that right hand.
Under 30 seconds in round 7, a 10-round bout between Tony Lopez and Greg Haugen, and it's been all Lopez. Certainly in the last 2 rounds. Haugen, you really have to admire his determination, not giving up at all. Having collected himself and trying to finish strong. And that's the end of round 7. Well, Ray, you said this could be the fight of the evening. The main event certainly will have one to try to catch up to.
You back again, all right?
That's it. These 3 are yours.
Ready to go. Okay, I want to see you moving the head more. Move the head more. Don't miss the target. And you know when he starts coming in.
Come on, baby, come on.
When he starts coming in, then I want you to throw it. He's anxious now.
You gotta roll inside with that head.
Yes.
You gotta get your head inside and roll shoulder to shoulder, roll.
James, right here, Lopez is just rattling Craig, which, there it is, right? That was the opening of the round. Hit him with that straight right hand. He was hurt on his feet, and he just rattled him with punches continuously after that.
Round number 8. Haugen has been in some wars before, 3 of them with Vinny Pazienza. Hector Macho Camacho twice.
Okay, in round 7, Tony Lopez threw 66 punches, landed 43, an amazing 65%. Greg Haugen only landed 25% of his shots. A big round 7 for Tony The Tiger Lopez.
And a savvy Lopez connecting nicely with the jabs.
James, now
taking his time.
I'm sorry, James. Now look at Tony Lopez's hand is high, and he's shooting a ramrod jab. Now he's on the offensive mode. Before, when he had dropped it, it was a defensive mode to draw Greg Haugen in to throw a right hand and counter him. Now he's on the offensive move. On the offense, as you can see, his hands are high, and he's just shooting a jab straight out. Pop, pop. You know, he's just peppering him with it.
And still, Ray, I can't help but notice the experience of the veteran Lopez, not getting carried away, knowing he's in against a tough opponent and taking his time.
Well, obviously, when you have enough as much experience as Tony Lopez, you also know, or I get a feeling of when you're in control of the fight. And he knows that right now he's in control and he's dictating the pace. And, you know, he's not going to give Greg Haugen any false confidence, but he's not too concerned when Greg catches him in a couple shots either.
Effectively keeping Haugen at bay with the jab.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Lopez has also had enough experience knowing that you can never be too confident. He found that out against Tobella in South Africa, a fight that Lopez thought he won. It was a rematch, and it was given to Tobella. And many people remarked about the poise that he showed in handling that adversity. And a mouthpiece knocked out again.
Greg's still hurt, James. He's still hurt.
Haugen's mouthpiece knocked out for the 3rd time.
Yes. If you look at him, it seems like his spirit is broken. I don't know if that's a good word to use, but he's hurt.
Well, I've been impressed with your ability to read the body language.
James, Richard Steele said that's the last time he's going to put up with Haugen dropping a mouthpiece. He could, under the rules, take a point away if he feels that Haugen is spitting out the mouthpiece on purpose to get a rest. You're not allowed to spit it out on purpose. That's the rules. If you drop it, they call time and put it in, you know, during the lull of the action, but you can't spit it out on purpose to get a rest.
Attacking to collect himself. Oh, a wicked cut on the left eye, the corner of the left eye of Lopez.
That was a butt. It was a butt. They banged heads.
With 20 seconds left, make it 22 seconds left in round 8.
Okay, the rules are... Okay, let's look at the replay first. It definitely was a headbutt. Now the rule is, in this situation, if the fight is stopped because of that cut, we go to the scorecards.
I tell you, Harold, we may have to go to scorecards after between rounds because right now it's pretty vicious cut.
Lopez bleeding profusely from the cut opened up by the headbutt of Greg Haugen. And that's the end of round 8. And the corner will have a task on its hand with Tony Lopez.
Nothing, doctor, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Good working, man. Sharp, straight punches. You see okay, man?
Miguel Diaz, veteran cut man, working on a cut of Tony Lopez. The guy's a great cut man. He should be able to handle it.
Now leave the head over there. Leave the head over there.
1, 2, back up right there. You're on one of the arteries.
Okay, doctor, don't worry about it.
No, you're backing up. Take it to him. Relax. Come on. Get out of there. Come on. He's hurt. You heard him 2 different times. You don't know if you even know it. You heard him. Okay.
That is wicked.
That's bad. The doctor will not let that go on too long. James, you can see that Tony hits him with a good uppercut. Boom, knocks his mouthpiece out again for the 3rd time.
And here's the headbutt. Boom, right there. An accidental butt, but nonetheless damage on that left eye of Lopez.
Punching it out there, punching it out.
And Harold, once again, just to drive the point home, the rule would be what?
Okay, the rule is this. If the fight gets stopped because of that cut, we go to the scorecards because we're beyond the 3rd round. If it's stopped in the middle of the round, we scored a partial round and then go to the scorecard. If Steele were to stop it right here, they would score the partial part of the 9th round.
Lopez, very much the game customer, not paying any attention to that cut, which is bleeding profusely again.
Man, there's all kind of blood on Greg's face. I don't know if he's cut now or if it's just Tony's blood.
And Haugen going for the cut.
Oh, well, absolutely, you have to. You got to hope that they stop it.
And the bleeding is obstructing the view in the left eye of Lopez.
Watch the head!
And it appears to me as though Greg Haugen may have a cut over his left eye, because there's certainly a lot of blood over Greg Haugen's left eye at this point.
Punch it, get out of there! Punch it, get out!
Not a pretty sight as you take a look at Lopez.
Don't hold him, don't hold him! Punch it, get out! Punch it, get out!
Lopez, while countering very effectively.
James, these guys are hitting each other with headbutts, elbows, shoulders. It's getting a little bit dirty in there. I mean, well, a little bit sloppy.
No, you called it right. It was clean at first, not so now.
That's right. Tony just delivered a low blow to Greg's. I mean, it's going to be one of the fights from here on in.
But Ray, Tony's doing what he does best. He's dropping that right hand on Greg Haugen's head.
And Harold, you are right. Greg does have a cut over his left eye now.
Well, gentlemen, you both were clairvoyant when you said this would be a war, and it has lived up to that.
I tell you, James, this is the viciousness of boxing, but it doesn't get any better than this.
Now I know it's time for me. Now I know that I don't belong in there anymore because I'm wincing at the blood. Oh my God!
Something you certainly couldn't do without being in there.
No.
Under 30 in round 9.
Come on, work, break, step back.
Truly, two warriors. Lopez effectively fighting with one eye. Haugen cut as well, still showing the heart we've seen earlier. And that which, of course, he's displayed throughout his career. The end of a bloody 9th round, and both fighters still tagging gloves.
James, we got hit with some blood over here.
You should have told me about the raincoat.
You're throwing everything on one punch. It's not one punch. Get your butt down. You're winging. What are you doing for? Throw them straight. 1, 2, 3. You're not going to 1, 2, 3. You throw 1, 2, 3. Get back on the jab. 1, 2, 3 again. Okay. Don't. You're pounding your feet when you go in there. You're taking big old giant steps. It's not. Okay, please let me have the eye, please. Get some water.
So don't quit punching when you get inside. I want to see you 2 and 3 and 4 punches at a time, not just 1 and 2. Okay.
And as you can see, both fighters having their eyes, their respective eyes worked on.
Okay, punches in round 9. Through round 9, Tony Lopez, 87 more punches than Greg Haugen. He's landed 52% to only 33% for Greg Haugen. Tony Lopez is winning this fight. He's out punching him.
The 10th and final round as both fighters touch gloves, and we get set for what should be a furious 10th and final round.
Keep him up.
Harold, your unofficial scorecard.
87-83, 6 rounds to 3. Tony the Tiger Lopez.
And the Tiger living up to that moniker. Haugen answers back, but he's wobbled.
Greg got no legs. No legs now. Wow.
Punch to get out of break. Step back.
I'd like to see both these guys end up on their feet, and they put on tremendous show.
That they have.
And my heart goes out to both these guys. What great fighters.
And heart certainly has been on display amply by Greg Haugen as well. Many times we all thought he was out or about to go out.
I said that earlier. I didn't think he was going to make it to the round. He proved me wrong. That's what a tremendous competitor he is.
Lopez.
He's ready to go now, though. He's ready to
knocks out the mouthpiece for a 4th time. That was not spit out by Haugen. It was knocked out once again. And Richard Steele calls time.
Now see, it's supposed to be a lull in the action. That was no lull. Tony was ready to drop another right hand.
So that's the problem many have had with Richard Steele.
Well, I don't know if it's Richard. I think Richard's a tremendous referee. I'm just talking about that rule.
Exactly. The rule is not clear at all. It says a lull in the action. Ray was right. I didn't think there was a lull in the action either.
Man.
Well, let's give Richard Steele a little credit. There hasn't been much lull in the action at all as the mouthpiece is knocked out for a 5th time. Lopez pounded away and it stopped. .143 of the 10th round, and we've got a stoppage in the action, and I don't think anyone can argue with Richard Steele for doing the right thing there, Ray.
Not at all, James. He was just hitting with too many consecutive. Greg was ready to go. The ropes were holding him up. I mean, that's just referee Richard did a tremendous job there.
Unofficially, as we were keeping it, Lopez outlanded Haugen 46-7 in this, the 10th round. Lopez, talk about the heart of a warrior, truly aptly named the Tiger.
Okay, now take the glove. Close your eyes. Talk to them.
And both fighters hugging.
Now take the glove. Watch it
What a
now.
fight.
Careful.
What
Don't
a
touch
fight.
it.
Here's the end.
James, Tony caught him. You know he hurt him right there. When Mate see Greg's legs aren't underneath him, and then he just went all out. That right hand again and again all night.
And Richard Steele right there on top of it, alertly watching the action. Now, I know there's been an awful lot of criticism about Richard Steele as of late, but Ray, right on the money there.
Absolutely. You know, Jim, we talk about body, body language. Greg's body goes limp. You know, he just has no control over, his arms, his body. He's hurt. He's hurt.
And not much of a fight put up right here by Haugen, although after about 10 seconds, he wanted to fight again. And again, whether the criticism is fair or unfair, Richard Steele certainly did an accurate and a proper job here.
Yes, absolutely.
So Tony Lopez improves his record to 45-4-1. And Greg Haugen sees his record drop to 34-6-1. We asked Lopez who he would like to take on next. He says, it makes no difference. My guys will handle that as we take a look at the final punches.
James, look how many punches were thrown, but landed by Tony Lopez. He's, oh man. I mean, forget the percentage. I don't give that a whole lot of credence, but the punches landed, over 100 more punches landed.
And certainly speaking to the heart and determination of Haugen, he was very active, just not as accurate. Right now, for the official particulars, let's take it back up to Gordon Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time 1 minute 43 seconds of the 10th and final round. Referee Richard Steele calls a halt to this contest. The winner by technical knockout and about 1 step away from a coveted world title bout. He's Tony the Tiger Lopez. Let's hear it one more time for the game. Greg Haugen.
And standing by with the winner is our Harold Letterman. Harold?
Wow, it doesn't get any better than that. Tony, you had a little bit of trouble in the early rounds, through round 4, and then you found the answer.
Yeah, you know, Greg Haugen's is a great champion and a great warrior. You can't take nothing from him ever. I knew that coming into this fight, and I expected a great fight, a hard fight, a tough fight. Never count Greg Haugen out, never.
Did you think that, early on, he started to back you up, he was hitting you with left jabs. Did you think that he would be so susceptible to those right hands after the 4th round?
Well, yeah, because his head was sticking right up. Me and my brother have been working on it for a long time, and it just took me a little while to get going, and it paid off.
Tony, when he butted you, Miguel Diaz did a great job, but was the blood bothering you going into the left eye?
A little bit, once or twice, wiped it out, and had